Hottest topic really in the state of North Carolina in the last 12 to 16 months has been the cost of Medicaid. It's affected everything. And of course, as you know, Governor McCrory has said that he was planning the school teacher raises and other things in last year's budget that had to be taken out because of $500 million worth of surprises from Medicaid. That on top of surprises before that. Medicaid is eating up a lot of the budget in North Carolina. As such, earlier this year, Governor McCrory set up an advisory group to reform Medicaid, and they released their report yesterday in Raleigh. And here to talk about that is one of the members of the advisory committee right now, our own Senator Lewis Pate, who represents District 7, North Carolina Senate District 7, which is Pitt, Lenoir, and Wayne counties. Good morning, Senator Pate. I know you're on the way to Raleigh this morning on your car phone, so thanks for talking to us.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Senator Pate, what is just kind of set the stage, because this is complicated. What's the major problem with Medicaid? Why can't we get our arms around it here in North Carolina?
Well, Henry, there's no predictability, if I can use the word, of what the Medicaid expenses are going to be. It's an entitlement, and so the people who qualify for Medicaid are welcome to use fees and everything that's covered for any purpose. And how that presents themselves to emergency rooms in the hospitals at their first inclination of an illness, or they have gone so far that they are desperately ill and need to go to the emergency room. But in either event, they cost a lot of money. If you go to the emergency room, you're going to spend some big bucks. And so that's what we're faced with, one of the main things. And secondly, we have the sickest population. They are on Medicaid, and we just have no way of determining at the moment what the expenditures are going to be year to year. And you sort of set the stage when you said that it's very difficult to project any other money that we will have because we got to save it all for Medicaid, and that's why the teachers were not able to get a pay raise this past year.
Senator Pate, you were on this commission that was appointed by the governor, and yesterday the commission released their reform plan. And you've been quoted this morning in the Raleigh newspaper as saying that the plan doesn't go far enough. Kind of give us your thoughts about, first of all, tell us what the plan really entails. We're going to have Dr. Robin Cummings on in a little while from DHHS, and we'll get more into that with him. But what are the basics of it, and why do you disagree with what's been thrown out there as of yesterday?
Well, let me tell you what. Let me I'll change the order of priorities there for just a second. During the 2013 budget that we approved, we voted for and passed it, and the governor agreed with the budget. We had some provisions in the budget that said, first of all, we wanted predictability in Medicaid. Secondly, we wanted to simplify the administration of Medicaid so that the providers could be providing medical care instead of having to have so many people hired to do all the paperwork. And thirdly, we wanted to see physical health and mental health combined so that people were treated for their complete health needs when they present themselves for Medicaid, because sometimes you have people come into the emergency room at the hospital who really have a mental illness and they can't be treated there. They have to go to a mental facility, and sometimes it takes days of them being in the emergency room before they can be transferred over to help they need. So that's what the budget provision said. I don't think that the plan that the department has developed, although it's a step in the right direction, I don't think it's nearly as robust as it should be. So that's why I was not really in favor of.
Is this, you know, we hear the term managed care. Is this a managed care plan that's been thrown out there?
No, it's not. It managed care to me means out-of-state insurance companies coming in and taking over the program for profit. I don't think anyone was really in favor of that in North Carolina. I think we have some homegrown entities that could do that just as well as an out-of-state insurance company could do it. But, however, it's going to be an insurance model, but it could come from local folks, local companies, North Carolina companies, rather than out-of-state NCOs. So I think. Go ahead.
I was going to say there's been a lot of concern that this reform plan was going to be a managed care plan, and a lot of the folks that I've talked to in North Carolina don't want that.
No, we don't.
Is this instead of does this mean that there won't be a managed care plan, or is that still to be determined?
Well, I don't think the sympathy in the Senate is for going to a managed care plan, and I don't believe the House would want to do that either. We just feel like the providers, however, need to know that they are going to have to assume some risk. They got to put some skin in the game to make the costs come down, and so that's one of the selling points that we've got to do. Providers have to participate, and so the model has got to change.
This plan that was released yesterday by the Department of Health and Human Services on Medicaid, Senator Pate, before it could go into being, before it could actually be put in place, it would have to be ratified by the North Carolina General Assembly and the legislature, of course, the House and the Senate. It sounds as though you will not be recommending that. So if that's the case, is your feeling that this plan is kind of dead on arrival when it goes to the legislature in May?
Well, if the department if the department and administration are willing to negotiate, I think we can probably make some modifications that would make it acceptable. But when you look at it, they, by their own admission, say it's going to save between 2 and 3% in 5 years from now. Well, you know, that is a hefty sum of money when you're talking about billions of dollars. But on the other hand, it's not much larger than what we've had to make up in the past to cover the budget. And so our staff has some projections saying that Medicaid is expanding nationwide at a rate of about 6% per year. And if all this plan is doing is saving 2%, well, I don't see any justification for adopting anything like that, because our losses are going to go up rather than come down.
Did you offer any suggestions on how to increase the savings on that? Was there another plan put forth during your sessions with this advisory group that they chose not to go with?
Well, no. They changed the advisory group. There were just 5 of us. I represented the Senate, Representative Dollar represented the House, and then we had 3 people who were appointed by the governor representing the providers. And our job was to advise the department on what their plan looked like. And they changed their plan several times. It first started off with these managed care organizations. That's what they wanted to start off with.
Right.
The people who came up and talked to us, we had several hearings, and it was by far the largest majority of people who talked were not in favor of the NCO. So that's when they went to this affordable care option.
You know,
it has some promise, but it's a long ways from being what we need.
The question about whether to expand Medicaid or not Governor McCrory and the legislature has been very much in the news for deciding not to expand Medicaid, where other states have expanded it. Under this proposal from yesterday that came out under Medicaid, would we see any expansion of Medicaid? Because the governor has said that, you know, I'm not against expansion of Medicaid. I'm against expanding it right now until we get our arms around it and get it under control. Does this plan speak to that at all?
Well, I think it leaves the door open for that, but we can't manage what we have right now. And until we can do that, I don't think there's any taste for expanding Medicaid.
Gotcha. All right, very good. Senator Lewis Pate. Senator, drive careful on your way to Raleigh this morning. Thanks for being on with us.
Okay, I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. Senator Lewis Pate.